I'm right there, next to him. See? There's my camera. And I run. I'm scared to death.
But you're like one of the first ones in there.
That's why I pleaded guilty, because I'm guilty.
No, she's still down there laying on the ground right there. If it was a different circumstance, you wouldn't have all of this readily available of your sister's death. There's like 4 different camera angles of my sister dying.
6 januari 2021. De datum staat in het geheugen gegrift van mensen over de hele wereld. Maar voor sommigen veranderde die dag hun leven. Lonna en Justin verloren een zus. Pam belandde erdoor in de gevangenis. Slachtoffers van leugens en samenzweringstheorieën.
We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
Joe Biden has been elected the 46th president of the United States.
Na de verkiezingen van 2020 weigert Donald Trump zijn nederlaag toe te geven.
If you count the legal votes, I easily win.
They are setting the stage to potentially steal an election.
President Trump won this election.
Do not concede, Mr. President. Fight hard.
Trump has been able to, and all his enablers, convince you that the Democrats want to turn this into a communist nation. They're convinced, 100%.
Pam Hemphill, op dat moment een fervente Trump-aanhanger uit Idaho, maakt zich grote zorgen.
Everybody would say, Pam, come on. Democrats have been stealing an election forever. There's proof. We're gonna get proof.
This was a stolen election.
The greatest political heist in election history.
Suitcases believed to be filled with ballots.
So you were scared too?
Oh yeah. We don't want to let the communists take over. I'm laughing now because how gullible I was, how much I believed what they were telling me without researching.
Trump oefent druk uit om aan de macht te kunnen blijven, onder andere op politici uit Georgia.
I just want to find 11,780 votes.
It has all gone too far.
In Georgia, rond Atlanta, woont op dat moment Roseanne Boyland.
She's not a political person. She didn't turn that way until like July, was that 2020, I guess.
Roseanne is niet geïnteresseerd in politiek. Ze heeft nog nooit in haar leven gestemd, maar heeft wel een fascinatie voor samenzweringstheorieën.
We've always kind of, as a family, been really into conspiracy theories, like, you know, Bigfoot, UFOs, all the weird stuff, ghosts, like the ghost tours and stuff. So when she started looking into the Save the Children stuff, I just kind of was like, oh yeah, whatever, you know.
Roseanne raakt verstrikt in een samenzweringstheorie over ontvoerde kinderen die verkocht worden online.
They were, you know, selling children on Wayfair for marked as products for like a lot of money.
Samaya cabinet, $13,000 for that cabinet.
There was a matching missing person case.
What they do is when they're selling these children on these sites, they hide it.
That's so freaking scary, man.
At some point in the hashtags turned into Trump is the savior. He's the only one that can fix all these problems. He's going to set the children free. On Christmas Day, we were all over here. She was very standoffish. She kind of just sat in the corner and was on her phone the whole time. And I think this is when she was figuring out that she was going to be going to the Capitol on January 6th.
Donald Trump wil op 6 januari nog een ultieme poging doen, wanneer in het Capitool de resultaten van de verkiezingen officieel gemaakt worden.
Just understand this. All hell is going to break loose tomorrow.
Then on the 5th, we called Roseanne and we're like, okay, drive safe. And, you know, let us know when you get there. And then she texted when she got there. And that was it.
What did she text?
Just, I'm here, all good. It's pretty crazy, like the amount of people.
We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
Pam Hemphill, down here at the Capitol. Mega, it's like a community, a family. We didn't have community. And you can feel a part of something. And it makes you feel important.
That's also what you felt on that day, on January 6th, when you had thousands of people there, that you were like, okay, this is family, we are doing something for this country here.
We're saving the country against the Democrats. Let us in. It's our house. Let us in. Oh, shit.
You're like the first one in there. You could have decided to stand back and just let him go in and then...
That's why I pleaded guilty, because I'm guilty. You can't say you're not guilty. You had a lot of choices, Pam.
Oh, and now you're on the ground?
Yeah, they pushed me down. Stepping on my head, cut my knee, and I broke my glasses.
Roseanne staat ondertussen aan de andere kant van het gebouw. Op de plek waar die dag het hardst gevochten wordt.
That's where she was.
Yeah.
That doesn't look very peaceful.
No, that's not peaceful at all.
And so you spent a lot of hours going through all the footage?
Yes, a very unhealthy amount of hours. I think she's actually still at the bottom of the pile at this point. There's like people standing on top of her and laying on top of her. This is one of the body-worn cameras from one of the police officers. They're jumping over her, trying to... That's a different angle. All this is so crazy, man.
I mean, she's laying there and all the while people are really fighting the police.
Yeah.
And while that's happening, she's on the ground.
Yeah, I think they pull her out at this point, maybe. And they're working on her.
Reanimatiepogingen halen niet meer uit. Roseanne overlijdt.
This was the original statement we wrote that I went out and read to the press. Pretty, generic stuff, I guess, when somebody dies in a violent socio-political event that's been viewed around the world. Our family is devastated by the loss of Roseanne Boyland. She was a wonderful sister, daughter, and aunt. Anyone who knew her knows how compassionate she was.
As we watch these awful events unfold, we hope that Roseanne was not among the crowd.
Tragically, she was there, and it cost her life.
We have little information at this time, and we are waiting with the rest of the world to uncover the specifics.
Our family is grieving on every level, for our country,
for all the families that have lost loved ones or suffered injuries, and for our own loss.
And got to the end of it and just couldn't help myself, and I think I said something to the effect of,
It's my own personal belief that the president's words incited a riot that killed 4 of his biggest fans last night, and I believe that we should invoke the 25th Amendment at this time.
And then I said that, this man's unfit for office, because that's my opinion, and I have a right to voice it. And I still feel the same way today.
Do you hold Donald Trump accountable for what happened?
I do absolutely hold him accountable, because if he would have conceded like every other president in the history of the United States, then we wouldn't be in that situation for anybody to be up there protesting.
Roseanne stierf tijdens de gewelddadige protesten, maar het officiële onderzoek wees uit dat drugs een rol speelde in haar dood. Iets wat haar familie niet wil geloven.
Her official cause of death was from an accidental overdose from her prescription Adderall. Obviously, we don't think that's how she died.
So she's been prescribed Adderall since she was in middle school. And so she had that in her system because she takes it every day.
Lonna en Justin zijn ervan overtuigd dat het onderzoek naar haar dood nooit grondig is gevoerd.
Nobody really even cared about it because she's a Trump supporter. Personally, I think that if someone died on the steps of the United States Capitol building, it would be, kind of a big deal and you would want to investigate it, but no.
Pam Hemphill is uiteindelijk het Capitool ook binnengewandeld. Ze wordt er enkele maanden later voor veroordeeld.
Oh my God. I don't know how I got in. Got pushed in.
What was your sentence?
60 days.
60 days for what were the charges?
Picketing and parading, the lowest charge you can get. It's the lowest.
Pam zit haar straf uit. In de maanden daarna komt het besef dat ze belogen is.
Looking at it all today, what do you feel?
Sick to my stomach. Disgusted. You have to live with this. I'm sorry. You have to live with this the rest of your life, that you were part of this garbage. There's nothing you can do about it now, except for talk to people like you and keep speaking out. how wrong Trump was to lie to so many people and has been lying and never stops lying. That gets us innocent people like myself that really love this country to go and do crazy shit like that. Oh, I got triggered.
Pam is tegenwoordig een supporter van Kamala Harris en ze probeert via sociale media Trump-aanhangers te overtuigen van haar zienswijze. Iets wat haar niet in dank wordt afgenomen.
They're mad I left the cult after catching them in so many lies.
You get into a lot of fights on Twitter lately?
Oh, you have to follow me and see what happens. Oh my God. Oh, I'm hated.
Sinds Justin en Lonna zich uitspraken tegen Donald Trump, komen ook bij hen de bedreigingen binnen.
We got tons of threats after that. Calls, letters in the mail. Text messages. Threats from friends, family members, coworkers, neighbors, strangers, everybody on the internet, the news, the press, media. Before, we felt like that there was like a total lack of empathy from anyone, even people we know. You know, like...
you mentioned even family members.
Yeah, you know, like my family's pretty conservative, and you know, it's difficult, like to, you know, like where everybody's so opinionated, where, you know, it feels like really the truth doesn't matter. It's just everybody's own opinion, what they think is the truth.
Bijna 4 jaar later en Donald Trump is opnieuw presidentskandidaat. De bestorming van het Capitool beschrijft hij als een dag van vreedzaam protest.
That was a day of love from the standpoint of the millions. It's like hundreds of thousands. It could have been the largest group I've ever spoken before.
It's just what he does. Narcissists, that's what they do. He's guilty. He started it. It's a fact. He's a dangerous, very mentally ill, I say mentally ill, person that could care less about you. He wants power.
Here we are 3 years later and he's still the man at the top of the Republican Party.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
I mean, it's like, it's mind-blowing. Like, what is going on with this country? He still hasn't admitted that he lost the 2020 election. It's like, at what point are we going to move on with the, you know, like, accept the fact that you lost, everybody knows you lost.
I'm personally tired of just hearing his name. I have just Trump fatigue. Like, I don't even like hearing his name, you know, like, it's just, you know, for a lot of people, I think that January 6th was almost 4 years ago, and obviously they didn't have a family member, like, die there, so for them it's easier to, like, move on or not be thinking about it constantly or feel any anxiety about the next election, you know, but that's not the case for us.